Welcome back to another Out of the Park 24 Detroit Tigers sim video. I'll be your host, General Manager Arthur Shelby. You can see we are on July 25th, approaching the 2028 trade deadline. 60 and 41, good for fourth place in the Campanella division. You might notice that our 60 wins are actually, it's fourth best in our division and sixth best in the league. You can see we've got 64, 63, then two teams at 60. Two teams that have won 9 games in a row. Great. But the Mets, 56 wins, good for the lead in that division. 69 wins for the Braves, nice. And then all the way down to 58. The Padres, 68, and then all the way down to 52. So we are fourth best in our division, sixth best in all of MLB. Expanded standings-wise, we are 2 below our Pythagorean, and we've got some teams ahead of us that are overachieving. We actually have the best run differential in the division. The Braves have jumped ahead of us in run differential in the league. So we're second best run differential in the league. Hopefully, we've got a really strong team, but it's really tough division this year. Our July has not been too good. We've been 8 and 10, kind of sputtering a bit. Second in runs scored, third in runs allowed, seventh in zone rating. If we take a look at the lineups here, you can see I haven't really made any trades yet. Last video I was contemplating some early trades that just none of them have come to pass just yet. But you can see Leto, Trice in limited role has had a really good season. Green, Malloy, DeLandry still all doing their things. Leto is on pace for 51 home runs. He has slowed down a bit, but still on pace for 6.7 WAR. Malloy is on pace for 5.6 WAR and 37 home runs. Riley Green did miss about 2 weeks with an injury, but still on pace for 4.5 WAR. Tommy DeLandry on pace for 45 home runs still and 2.5 WAR in the DH slot. So those 4 big guys are still doing it. Rene Lestrace has done a really nice job as our catcher on the hitting side of things, but in 45 games, negative 3.9 framing runs, not great. We do have Aliendo back, who is a much better pitch framer normally. He's break even so far this year, and his offense has been not bad at all with a 91 WRC plus. So maybe our catching situation has stabilized a bit. Ozzy Albies just having a brutal year. We need to do something at second base at the trade deadline. I wouldn't mind giving some of those at-bats to Trice, but his fielding just hasn't been up to par. -2 zone rating in 15 starts. Now, that 15 starts is not a big enough sample. Like, weird stuff can happen in 15 games. But, I mean, he's fine. He's fine as a defensive second baseman. I think that's our backup plan, to kind of have him take the lion's share of the duty from here. Jung Hoo Lee, he's had 1 really good month and then 3 bad ones. His WRC plus by month, 59, 67, 172, 72. So, I don't know if I'm going to trade him. I think I want to hold on to him. I think he's still a very valuable left-handed hitting outfielder who, when he's going well, is a all-star level player. I think maybe in the offseason we might move on from him, but I don't know that time is going to be right now. Jack Hurley is a league average bat off the bench so far this season. Isaac Pacheco, 108 WRC plus, solid bench bat. And then Trice is our other bench bat. Miguel Blaze, our center fielder, doing fine with the bat with 96 WRC plus, but the fielding continues to be a concern in the 91 games, negative 4.6 zone rating. You can see that that's not really the case with him throughout his career. He's generally been a really good center fielder at basically every stop. Certainly not this poor. But hopefully it's just an adjustment to the major leagues and he can get himself on track. Pitching side of things, where do we begin here? Chase Dollander has really struggled lately. He's on pace now for just 1.7 WARs. ERA is 4.81. If you look at his pitching splits here, you can see a solid April. Then in May, his ERA started to go up. And then across 6 June starts, he put up a 6.61 ERA. The home runs were just crazy. His home run to walk ratio, or his strikeout to walk ratio, is actually the best of the season for him, and so was the Sierra. By those measures, it was his best month, but 3.4 home runs per 9, just brutal there. So yeah, it's just not going great for him this year. You can see his strikeout to walk rate isn't that bad, but the home runs are way up. The BABIP is almost 100 points higher. So hopefully he can turn around. He's had a really rough go of it in June, especially. He was just getting hit every time out. But Espino and Thompson are heading the rotation here. Jackson Job has been decent. And then, so no one's really been bad. But that Dollander has certainly tailed off since the last video when I updated you about a month ago. But we've had a bunch of good performances here. If you go by ERA plus, Victor, our former draft pick, Moda, they've been really good. Some guys who are below league average ERA, or I guess their ERA is above league average. Montes de Oca, our number 5 starter, Wentz, Dolander, Job actually with a really rough ERA, but solid FIP in Sierra, and then Barreria has been okay. I'd like to bring in a bullpen arm or 2 here. I think I'm okay with the rotation, counting on like Job or Dolander. I think out of these 5 guys, there are 4 guys I'm comfortable going through a playoff series with. We could always bring in a dude if something presents itself. Bullpen is where I'll look for help. I think this Mota, Barreria, Victor, kind of like trio is pretty inexperienced, and I'd like to replace one of them, probably Barreria, with a more experienced arm who can throw towards the back end of our bullpen. But Williams, Moran, Montes de Oca, Lang, Vasquez, that 5 in our bullpen, really solid. So, yeah, I think second base is where we need to go get help. You know, I could. This is something I could do. I could put Luke Lett over there with his 45 range at second. It's not great. And then I could this is one thing I'd do. Put Malloy over at first base. He's a decent third baseman. Leto actually has a better arm, and I should probably be playing him over there, flip-flop the 2 of them. But if I put Leto at second, Malloy at first, and then I could... Well, actually, I think I would keep Malloy at third, under this situation, and then call up George Wolkow, who is our 4th-round pick from 2026, who, look, he's just killing it everywhere. College bat, he's already ready for the majors. He could come up and play first base, maybe. He could also come up and take some at-bats away from Jung-Hoo Kim. But, yeah, that's one option. I could also go out and let's look at this here. I could put Delandry in right field and bring in a DH and push Lee to the bench. But I think second base is the priority. I have started putting offers out there, man, but just like nothing doing, to be honest. There's a couple almost. So this was... Yeah, so I was looking at acquiring Ketel Marte, who is an expiring free agent, hitting the Jays up again. Now, his infield range is only 50. He's not an amazing second baseman, but if you pair him with his bat, he would be a huge upgrade for us. He's a free agent after the year. He's been really good throughout this whole sim. He got traded to the Blue Jays this offseason, but the ask just isn't reasonable. Here, I'm willing to put in Jung-Hoo Lee, who I'm not sure I want to trade, a 7th-round pick reliever who's looking like a good player for me, and a minor league 2-way player who is looking like he will probably be an okay bat and maybe a pitching arm, but maybe not. But they're like almost. All we need is Wolkow or Jeffrey Hurd, who's a beast in the minors for me, Isaac Pacheco, Riley Grain, Brandon Barreria, Espino, Avina, Williams. Like, I'm just not trading any of those guys. So, and it's been the same thing. So I think we might be out on Marte. The price is just too high. I'm not willing to give up that much for rental. 4 pieces, including like my current starting right fielder and another like serious prospect. I don't know, dudes. But when we look at second base, there's just not a lot else out there that I want. Like, Bichette has too much left on his deal. I'm not interested in trying that again because he's got a player option I don't want to pick up. France is not an upgrade over anything that we have. You know, CJ Abrams is interesting enough, but just has never been good with the bat. Bay is not a good second baseman. You know, he just hasn't played enough. He's only got the 50 range. Just a bunch of guys that I'm just not really interested in here, to be honest. Like Bryson Stott, like I don't know that any of these guys are really upgrades for me at this point. That's the issue here. Glaber hasn't been good in a long time. Willie Castro just hasn't done it. Oh, the washer's gone. It's about to go in. It's about to dump a bunch of water into the tub in the laundry room behind me. So sorry if you guys are picking up that noise. So yeah, I just don't know if there's a lot out here at second base. So that leads me to okay, let's slide Trice in as our second baseman. Give him the at bats he's probably earned here. Move Delandry into right field and go get another bat to replace Jung-Hoo Lee to just improve the offense, right? Improve the team that way. So I know I had mentioned some guys on the Rockies earlier. I have not put in offers for them yet. Let me go to them here. One guy we're looking at is Isaac Paredes, who is just not having a good year. I mean, I could acquire him to be a right-handed hitter and possible second baseman coverage for Trice, since Trice is really inexperienced. Not as good of a fielder, though, as Trice, I don't think. I mean, he's playing off third base for them. There's also Chris Bryant, who is hurt again. He's out for another 2 weeks with a strained groin. He's wrecked. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if I want to put my faith in Chris Bryant coming in and being our full-time DH. He's been great when he's played, but playing has become more and more of a challenge for him. But he would be a really good get if their ask is reasonable, considering he's about to be a free agent. He's always hurt. He could play the outfield for us, and he could play, I guess, some third base if we needed him to. If we wanted, we could always put Chris Bryant at third, push Leto to second, and push Malloy to first. That's an option too, actually. Not the best defensive lineup, but we would mash. Maybe I could get Pacheco and Bryant. And then who would that push off the team, though, really? I mean, Albies would be gone at that point. We'd have to DFA him. I think we'd keep Jung-Hoo Lee around as a left-handed bat. So would it be like Hurley maybe getting sent down? That's not the end of the world. I mean, he's been fine, but he's not like a player that you have to keep on your roster. He's a good player. So, yeah, I guess I could always bring in Paredes. Try to bring in Paredes and Bryant, and then basically Paredes, Pacheco, and Trice would be my bench. It would give me 2 righties and a lefty on my bench. Lee would stay in here, Delandry here, because we'd probably go Leto over to second, Malloy to first, Bryant to third. I'm thinking is what we'd probably do. And then, but we have a bunch of depth then too, right? We can shift a bunch of guys around because Trice and Pacheco can play second. A bunch of guys can play first. Several guys can play third. Like if Bryant gets hurt, that would be a pretty interesting offense. I'm going to give that some thought. And then we need a reliever. But I think my first plan A will be like giving it one more go at getting I'm on free agents. Giving it one more go on acquiring a second baseman. There's just not a lot out there, but maybe if I peruse the rest of the league more, some guys who are out of it, like the White Sox, I've gone through some rosters, but just not found anything great yet. But maybe I'll spend some more time doing that, and then we'll come back and see if I make an offer there, or also maybe try to construct a blockbuster offer to the Rockies. I like that idea, but I hate having a guy with like 45 range at second base. They're kind of hooded. But all right, I'll take a look. We'll take a look around, and I'll report back here. Let's see what we can do. All right, so we're up to the 26th. Man, I've tried again to put in offers on Ketel Marte. I tried another one. Tried a different route. Devon Zimmerman, who really is my top relief prospect. He's 23, good-looking prospect, and Jesus Serrano, who I got from the Yankees, and is a 21-year-old outfield prospect who's been killing it in the minor leagues this year. He is out with a partially torn labrum, but it's not a huge concern as a hitter. He's got good work ethic. He's a captain. I really thought that he was a valuable commodity to offer up. And then Landon O'Donnell, who was our 20th round pick in 2026, but has had some success so far in the minors and looks like a decent enough player right now. I offered those 3 for pending free agent Ketel Marte, and they're still coming back wanting, like, Williams is my closer, Made is my shortstop, Barreria is my top pitching prospect, Job is in my rotation, Avina is number 21 prospect in baseball, Espino has been my best starter this year. Like, it just doesn't look like this is something we can do here, which is disappointing. So then I moved on to Chris Bryant, and wouldn't you know it, he's going to invoke his 10-5 privileges to block a trade to us. So then I started thinking, well, okay, we're going to go out and we're going to get a guy who can come in and play, be a bat against lefties, probably DH, and then Trice could move to second base. I think Trice will probably possibly platoon with Pacheco at second base. I'm not entirely sure yet, but both those guys are going to get playing time. Pacheco's actually hitting lefties better this year. It's weird, but as a lefty. But I think basically we're going to bring in a bat, and it's going to force Albies off the roster. We're going to bring a right-handed bat. I also want to explore maybe getting a better backup catcher. Not that Lestrace hasn't done the job, and he is a captain, but we have other captains on the team, and his defense just hasn't been good enough. Let's make sure other dudes are still considered captains. Yeah, we've got Pacheco, and then all these leaders, so I'm not worried about sending him down. Yeah, so I poked around a while, and I think the A's are a team that we have a good match with. Now, they are kind of in the wild card hunt at 52 and 50. You can see they're 4 games back. They're not going to win their division, but they're 4 games back from the last wild card spot. But it would be a very A's thing to do, to trade 2 expiring free agents in the middle of a wild card race. I think old friend Mitch Haniger, who we traded for at the deadline? 2025 deadline, and he killed it for us. I think he's our number 1 target at this point, and he's having a really good season. He's just been solid through this whole sim. He hasn't been bad at any point. He's riding high on a BABIP, but he's a free agent after the year. He's not costing much, and I think I might bring in Shea Langoliers too. Good catcher. He's having a bad year. He's never been great offensively, which is strange. Like he probably should be decent offensively. His fielding, he's generally a good pitch framer. So I think I'm going to put together an offer for these two. I have no idea what they're wanting for these guys. So I'll probably aim really low to start, because maybe they're just wanting to get rid of them. Some okay-ish prospects. I think like Landon O'Donnell is an interesting guy to offer up. And, maybe one other guy, like one other okay guy that we're not too concerned about. Like Robert Campos has really just stalled out at AAA. He's never really been that great of a hitter, but teams for some reason have asked about him a bunch. I don't know why. Like in trade offers, like he's sometimes been a guy as a throw-in. So let's offer him O'Donnell and Campos for these two. They might come back and say, "Are you out of your mind?" if they're actually valuing these guys, but you just never know. So it's July 26th. We'll skip ahead a day. We do still have a reliever to go out and target here at some point. They said almost. Okay, so we can make this trade happen. Carrier is a 7th-round pick from 2024 who's just kind of tanked. Birdie is, we could trade any number of these guys. That's probably the leading candidate. He's the oldest, and he's out hurt right now. Yeah, let's throw Vasquez in and complete this deal. I like this deal. Add in Luis Vasquez. All right, so we're getting Haniger, we're getting Langoliers, we're getting a starting DH against lefties and a backup catcher, and we're not really giving up much. Like, I'm not worried about giving up 23-year-old Landon O'Donnell, who I think could be a major league player at some point here. We're not worried about giving Robert Campos, so I think the ship has sailed on him being a major league player, but for some reason teams value him. And Luis Vasquez, I don't think he's going to be a major league player, but he's 23. Maybe the A's are going to do something with Moneyball and get him going. But let's go ahead and complete that trade. So I feel good about that trade. So this is going to force Las Tres. We're probably going to make some 40-man moves, actually. Las Tres off our roster. Then, Albies, it just hasn't worked out. Let's see if there's a prospect we could get for him. Probably not. I'm assuming not. No. Maybe we can swing a deal for a reliever. Maybe we can get our reliever by giving up our second baseman. Just a bunch of dudes making the minimum. What if we retain 50% and then ask for a relief prospect? Still nothing. Wow. I mean, I'll retain 100%. I don't care. I do not care. I'm wild like that. Because I'd like to open up a spot on the 40-man here. All right, Jays. Keep it up. That's where they draw the line. Actually, maybe it's just smarter to go do this. Get rid of his full salary, because who cares? How long is he out for? 2 more months? Yeah, I'm not too excited about that. Sterner's on a... Oh, this dude's on a minor league contract. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I will probably just DFA whoever... Well, Schreiber, we'll get Schreiber. He's out for 10 months, and we'll get rid of him after the year, and we'll put him on the 60-man, or on the 60-day IL. So, we won yesterday's game 5-0. Who pitched for us? Was it Dolander? We needed a Dolander shutout. Now it's Jackson Jobe, 6 2/3. All right, home run, Blaze, and Delandry hit his 29th. Albies went 2 for 4. Smells his job floating away from him. So we need to make room on the 40-man. So let's give it one more day before we add the other guys to the roster, because we'll get Albies off here almost. What do you don't want like something real, right? Okay, no. Carrier, Birdie. Yeah, we'll throw in Birdie. How about that? Or Mo Hampton. Mo Hampton's 26. Still providing probably really good defense out there. Oh, he's hardly playing. 2023 round 10 pick, Mo Hampton. We'll put him in the deal. All right, so now we've got... our fans were pleased. So now we'll put Schreiber on the 60-day. So now what's our 40-man look like? We have 2 open spots now. Nice. All right, so we can put Langoliers on. We can put Haniger on. Langoliers becomes our backup catcher, which is a pretty significant defensive upgrade, I think, which I like a lot. And then what are we going to do about this? So Trice is going to come in and play second base. Pacheco is a lefty bat, which we don't love. So basically Pacheco and Trice. Well, this is against lefties. Yeah, all right. So let's think about this. Delandry goes in. Haniger comes into DH. All right, so Green, Leto, Haniger, and as you know, we have a very righty-heavy lineup against lefties. Let's move Trice up a bit. He's been hitting the ball well. Move him there. And then who's our backup shortstop? Now, we really don't have an adequate backup shortstop at this point. We do in the minor leagues. Like if something happened to Made, we'd call somebody up. But for just like playing every so often, like we don't really need so Trice, even though he's in the lineup, just in case on days he's out for one reason or another. We're not going to start these guys against lefties right now. Does Jung-Hoo Lee need to be the defense replacement? I think Landry's fine. Yeah, Landry's fine there. So that's our lineup against lefties. Now against righties, we'll let Pacheco come in and be the starting second baseman, but we're going to play Trice pretty often. Trice is my preferred option there. He's also going to be the defensive replacement. And you know what? Let's do this. Riley Green should be our backup center fielder here. I think I forgot to put him back in that spot. And against righties, we'll start him every 7th game, and then Hurley will get some starts there. Trice is our backup shortstop. Now, against righties, do we want to bench Lee and put in, like, do the Delandry thing? Against righties, I think we'll keep Haniger out of here for now, but we'll start him a bunch. So we'll start him every 5th game there. I don't think Hurley needs starts over Delandry. If starter tired there. Yeah, I think we'll keep Haniger on the bench against righties for now. We'll let Jung-Hoo Lee, against righties has been about league average. It's lefties we really need to get him out of there against. Hurley, what are his splits like? Hurley has been mashing lefties, although he's hardly played against them as a lefty. Yeah, I think this does it. So now our bench is kind of like Haniger / Lee, depending on who's in. Trice / Pacheco, depending on which one's in at second. And then Hurley. So I'm pretty happy, actually, with this offense now. I think, Zhang Huli is just too good of a commodity to give up right now during a potential pennant race. But I think in the offseason, his time might be over here. But it's not the time to do it. So hopefully Pacheco or Trice, hopefully one of them can grab this starting second base job. I just don't see anything out there, dudes, for us to do at second base beyond this. Do our lineup look okay here? Let's move. Well, yeah, against righties, we'll leave Lee there. Yeah, that looks good. All right. So now we need to go out and find a reliever. I think we're good on starters. We're going to leave that alone. Let's just see if there's any good relievers on the trade block here. Have not really even begun to look at them. Let's look at pitching ratings to start. So Matt Brash, who's he pitching for? The Dodgers. Ooh, hello, Matt Brash. Did I make an offer for him? I feel like I made an offer for him and then forgot about it. Maybe. Is there a Los Angeles reply anywhere here? Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, so I asked for the, I don't know, they came back with an absurd counteroffer, but it might be because I asked for the $1 million international bonus pool. I think this is a decent player to offer up. 22-year-old first base slugger, my 15th round pick from 2027. I just have, I don't know that I need him, but I also don't know that I need to offer him up. Let's try not to ask for the $1 million international bonus up. Maybe that was their issue. And find a halfway interesting dude that we could give up. This is a decent pitching prospect, honestly, to get for a rental reliever. Let's go a little further down. I don't want to go that high up. Who's this guy? 17th round pick, 2026. Yes. Let's offer him. No way in a million years they'll accept it. Well, we'll find out. Did we just get another shutout, by the way, last game? Was this Dolander? Oh, Wentz, 6 1/3 shutout. Lee hit a double. Leto hit his 34th. He's on pace for 53. Nice. All right, so we submitted that offer, right? And now we'll move on to somebody else. If their next deal is if their next counter for Brash there is crazy. Sprained ankle for Dolander. Yikes. It's day-to-day for a week. Moderate influence on pitching. I don't want to IL him. He went 4 1/3 shutout ball before he left with the injury. We lost 2-1. How'd we get our run? Well, Langeliers played. He went 0 for 3. Haniger went 1 for 2. He scored a run. Dolander, and then the bullpen blew it. But what did LA come back with? Or do we need to go 4 today? Oh, yeah, okay. We need to finish the day. Oh, they said almost now. Are they real almost, though? Who are these guys? Let's see. Okay. No. I don't want to go with a guy that young, to be honest. Probably not. No. Nope. 25 Blaze Grove. It's a great name. I'd give him up. So, but actually, Shepshiak. That's what it's got to be. Nailed it. Ryan Shepshiak, our 20th round pick from 2023. They want him. We're doing that. Absolutely. Brash is a righty, right? Yeah. Love everything about Matt Brash here, coming in as a reliever. Cheap too. We're not cheap salary. I mean, I think this is a decent utility infield guy. I think this guy will probably become a major leaguer for them. Shepshiak, I don't think so. But let's complete that trade. Oh, the fans are excited that we got Brash. Good. Glad they're happy. I think we're going to have to DFA somebody here. We don't have anybody we can 60 day, right? No. All right. Who are we going to DFA now? Let's sort by potential. Go to the bottom here. No. Oh boy, this is Yeah, it's going to be Blaze Jordan, I think. I just don't see a great future for him. I did try shopping him around earlier in the year. Nobody offered anything. So, yeah, we'll DFA Blaze Jordan, I think. Let me just make sure there's not somebody more. We could DFA David Garcia. I think he'll be taken, though. Yeah, okay, let's DFA Blaze Jordan. So, wave and designate. And then we will go and add Brash. And then I think we're going to send down Barreria here. He's been fine. He hasn't been terrible. But he can go down to AAA and start full-time. And we'll go here and bring in Brash, who just makes our bullpen, I think, absolutely stacked. I'm actually going to... I don't know. Montez de Oca has not been... He's been okay. Let's do that. So Brash will come in and get middle relief and high leverage. And who's the... We'll give Lang some closer opportunity too. So that now, I mean, this bullpen is just stacked now. Like, Brash, Alex Lang is having a great season. Vasquez is having a really good year. Mota is a good-looking young relief prospect. Yeah, this bullpen is stacked now. The rotation, has been a little wobbly at times, but it's still got the third best ERA in the majors. I don't know. I like the way this team is coming together at this point. I don't know that I'm going to make any more trades. I think the second base market just isn't coming together for us, unfortunately. And I'd like to trade for Ketel Marte, but that's just not going to happen. Or I'd like to, I could here put like Leto at second and Malloy at first. No, that wouldn't work. I could put Leto at second and then bring in Delandry to first, maybe. No, that's not going to work. Haniger? No. I mean, Pacheco can play first, but yeah, I think this is going to probably be where it ends. I'm going to go through the trade deadline. I'll make more offers for Ketel Marte. If we can get him, we'll happily take him. But this is a team with not really too many weak players here on offense now. I mean, Shea Langoliers we just brought in. He's not had a good offensive year, but he's here for his defense for sure. And Jung-Hoo Lee is here because he's a very high quality player who's having a down year. Aliendo is our catcher, who's a good defensive guy. Blaze, we need his center field defense to be better than this. This is going to be a problem if he comes up and isn't the Meadows replacement that we need him to be defensively. Maybe we even slide Riley Green over for a little bit. But yeah, all right. So I'll go ahead and get the trade deadline done. I'll update you guys after that. But I don't think there are going to be any more moves unless something unexpected arises through like a proposal or something like that. All right, it's trade deadline day. We're on the third window out of 4, and a late breaking potential huge move from the Tigers. I finally decided, like, all right, I'll give up a real prospect for Marte. I think this is worth it. He can play second base for us, provides a lot of stability there that we don't have right now. We're giving up Ethan McIlvain, who's one of our top pitching prospects. He's the guy that we got from the Yankees when we traded Zach Geloff in the offseason. He was a first-round pick, 31st overall by the Yankees in 2026. And as you can see, he spent a lot of time as a top 100 prospect. He's just outside of the top 100 right now. Now, just as like future planning, some of my hesitation is, right, like a lot of these guys, only Wentz is locked up long term. We've got Dollander for 2 more seasons, Espino 1, Thompson 1, Job 2. And I think we'll look to move 1 or 2 of those guys in the offseason to get something back for them. But we have help coming. Like, these guys aren't pitching great in AAA right now, but Barreria is a legit prospect. Roldan, I was thinking about offering instead of McIlvain, but decided that I'd prefer to keep Roldan, our 12th round pick from 2023. Bradenberg's having a really good season, the guy we got from the Angels. Was that the Parker Meadows deal, I think? Yeah, so he's there. Grant Cherry doesn't look amazing, but is putting up good numbers in AAA for the second straight season. ERA isn't great, but the rest of his numbers are pretty good. And so McIlvain is our best guy here. I don't know that any of these guys are coming as major league help, but we drafted a couple guys this year that I think will be like the next wave in maybe like 2 seasons. John Lash looks like he's decent. Trey Morris looks like he could be decent. So I think we've got the pitching depth to make this trade. I don't love giving up a really good pitching prospect. You can see he's our top pitching prospect. He's our second prospect overall. But a lot of those guys I just showed you are here. Jesus Strickland is a bit further away, but Roldan, Lash, Morris, Barreria was our top pitching prospect until he got the 75 days of Major League service. So we're giving up a really legit player for a rental, but I think it's worth it. I think we're going to do it. I just think I don't want to pass up a really good opportunity to make some noise this year with a really good team. To like hoard prospects, right? Like I need to get over that. I hate giving up a really good pitching prospect, but as we know, there's no such thing as a pitching prospect. They also asked that we throw in Dylan Dingler. That was one of the guys they came back with. Really, that's fine. He's like 4th on our catching depth charts now anyways. He is a good defender, but his pitch framing has waned, has lessened in recent seasons. So we're going to give up Dingler too. We're going to give up Ethan McIlvain, and we're going to bring in our new starting second baseman, Ketel Marte. So let's just go ahead and complete the trade. Oh, our fans are pumped. Yeah, we added several pieces to the puzzle by trading for one player. I agree, Arthur Shelby. Way to go. Great quote. So I think who's that is going to push out is actually Isaac Pacheco, who is having a league average season as a bench bat. Certainly hasn't done anything wrong, but he hasn't been great for like 2 months now. He started April and May is really good. June he was terrible. July he's been better, but certainly not like undemotable, if that's a word. And I think Carter Trice has been too good to demote. We can't demote Trice. He's got a 146 WRC plus. So I think we're going to have to DFA somebody. So that's going to be, let's see, David Garcia, I think. Let's shop him around real quick just to make sure that we can't like get a prospect for him. Okay, no, so yeah, we're going to DFA Garcia. And this is the last trade I'm going to make. I'm not worried about this time clock. We're not making any more deals. We're good. So we'll ooh, okay, there we go. Great. Other trades. All right, so we will go here and DFA Garcia. Waive and designate. Okay. Great, and then we will just option Pacheco to the minors. He's probably not going to be too happy with that, but hey, man. We just acquired Ketel Marte. Sorry about it. So then Marte comes in here, and he's going to be our starting second baseman against lefties and righties because he's Ketel Marte. And he can move up and bat behind Delandry. I don't love those 3 righties in a row. Yeah, there we go. Lee can bat 7th. Marte can back up some places too. Not that we really need or want him to. Can he back up at third base? No, so that'll be Trice, I think, still. Yeah, actually, Leto should probably be our backup third baseman. And he should actually probably start for us, but we're still going to try to get Carter Trice some at-bats here. Let's yeah, he's just not going to play that as much, especially against righties. So Trice will come out. Marte comes in. Lineup wise, yeah, I think that's fine. Keep it the righty lefty thing going. And then we will put Leto as our backup third baseman again. We'll put Trice as our backup there. Here, let's go once a week. And then we can give Trice some starts here too, maybe at DH, like every 5 days. And then maybe... Oops, I didn't mean to make that Riley Green. Hold on. Trice here. And then add Trice. Yeah, so he's not going to get a ton of playing time now, but hey, man, we got Ketel Marte. Got to do what you got to do. So let's just go ahead and finish the trade deadline. Trade deadline is passed. Successful trade deadline for us. Bringing in Haniger, Marte, and Brash. It's July 31st. We are 64-43, 3 games back on the division lead. Pretty healthy cushion in the wild card. 7 games up on the O's. We're 3rd out of the 4 wild cards. The AL Campanella division continues to dominate the league. But that'll be a wrap for this episode. And Tigers have made a few moves. One significant trade. One kind of lower-priced trade. But thanks for watching. No, actually, I'm not going to wrap the episode here. I'm not going to say that. But thanks for watching. But actually, let's finish the season this episode. So we'll go ahead and cut here and see how this plays out. The regular season has ended. The Tigers have finished 98-64, 3 games back. The Reds surged at the end to pass us for second place and actually gave the Brewers a run for their money. 98 wins, 3rd best in our division, 5th best in MLB. The Braves won 105. The Padres with 99 wins. Expanded standings-wise begins to get to the story here. We were the best team in baseball by a pretty wide margin with when you come to run differential, plus 270. We were -9 of our Pythagorean. Our Pythagorean had us 10 games better than the 2 teams that finished ahead of us in our division, 107-55. We're just 18-23 in 1-run games. You can point to maybe the bullpen was bad. The bullpen wasn't bad. It was really just poor luck in 1-run games, maybe bad sequencing of events, right? So, yeah, I mean, how many tens of thousands or whatever more than that events happen in MLB season? Just the sequence of them in our season happened to have us have an insane run differential, but not win the amount of games we quote unquote deserved. The second best run differential in the league is 166, the Braves, to our 270. I mean, just a statistically dominant season for us. 1st in runs scored, 1st in runs allowed. Bullpen and starter ERA were both 3rd. Defense not as good, 9th in zone rating. I think some of that was Blaze not being that good in center field, which is concerning. 2nd in home runs with 273. Let's take a look at the club. You can see Luke Leto finished the season, wrong guy there, with 6.6 WAR, 163 WRC plus, 53 home runs, 125 RBIs. The 53 home runs are 2nd best in Tigers single season history. Riley Green, 5.5 WAR, 148 WRC plus, beginning to earn that contract, and he's going to have to continue to earn it because he's got some $41 million seasons coming up. Justin Henry Malloy, one of, I'd say by WAR, his best season in the majors. He hit 37 home runs, 6 WAR, 144 WRC plus, just continuing to be an absolute superstar and continuing on a track to be one of the best Tigers in the history of the franchise if he plays out this entire contract with us. Ketel Marte, great season for us. A 150 WRC plus and 2.4 WAR in 223 plate appearances after the trade deadline acquisition. Tommy DeLandre went yard 46 times, which is 4th best in Tigers single season history. A 134 WRC plus, 3.2 WAR. The strikeout's a little troubling. I don't know if DeLandre's going to be a guy who we commit to long term, but he's around now. He's league minimum. He's got several years of arbitration. We're happy he's here. He's a slugger in the middle of our lineup. This is a really fun team. Mitch Haniger was exactly league average for us with a 102 WRC plus, 0.0 WAR. So I guess his fielding wasn't very good. Some negative zone rating going on there. Carter Trice, great look for him this season. You can see it's his first kind of full look of professional ball, and he put up 2 WAR and 143 WRC plus in 228 plate appearances. And his fielding wasn't bad either. You can see at second base, he was just a negative .1 zone rating in 286 innings. Let's see, what else do we have going on here? Miguel Blaze, solid 106 WRC plus, just 1.7 WAR because his zone rating was -7. Not what you love to see. I mean, you can see he's been really good. I mean, in over his career, he was like a plus 18 zone rating before this season. So disappointing. Hopefully you can figure that out. Jack Hurley, decent season as a lefty bat who got some playing time. I don't know that he established himself as like part of the future here, but a solid showing. Jung-Hoo Lee, very disappointing season from him. Second time in 3 seasons that he's finished below league average in terms of WRC plus, and a much worse season this season. Eliendo, you know what? This is on all levels. Shoot, it doesn't change a ton here. Carter Trice came up way up, 143 WRC plus. Sorry about that, Carter. 143 WRC plus is good for 4th on the team. That's wild. Eliendo, 102 WRC plus, 1.7 WAR, 0.7 framing runs. Solid pickup there for us. He played really well. Kevin Made, 2.9 WAR, 79 WRC plus. His worst offensive season, I think. Oh no, worst offensive season since 2025, since his rookie year. And then Shea Langoliers came over and wasn't too great for us, but put up 1.8 framing runs, so we'll take it. Pitching side of things, let's look at it through WAR. Daniel Espino put up a 3.08 ERA, 2.99 FIP, and the really fun thing about him is he went 14-0 over the season. He didn't lose a game. He probably, that's the wrong thing. I mean, he gave up 8 runs here, and we came back and won that game 10-9, so he didn't get the loss. But I mean, other than that, he gave up more than 3 runs only a handful of time. But look at all these 0-run outings where he didn't get a win. There's one. There's one. There's a 1-run on it. Oh, he got the win there. But yeah, I mean, he could have won a lot more games. Here's 6 shutout innings there. Didn't get a decision, but 14-0, man. That's a pretty good win-loss record, and really good numbers from him. He was our best starter by far. Zach Thompson was next in line, 3.6 WAR, 3.46 ERA. Devin Williams, legendary relief season from him again, 33 saves. He's got a 2.78 ERA, 1.71 FIP. And in case you were wondering, like I am, where's he now rank on the Tigers' all-time save leaderboard? He is 4th with 124. He's 1 behind John Hiller. Then he's got some work to do to catch Todd Jones and Mike Henneman. And he was over here at some point too. Yeah, there he is. He was 2nd all-time there in 2026. He hasn't appeared up there any other seasons. Chase Dollander, by the way, before this season on some of these rate stats was already up here. Let's see if he's walks. Yeah, there he is. Walks per 9 innings pitched. Strikeouts per 9 innings pitched. Wow, we got several guys. Lang, Thompson, Dollander, Job. Good work. Strikeout to walk ratio. Dollander is number 1. Whip. Dollander is number 1. Chase Dollander's on pace to be. He's one of the better starters in franchise history if he sticks around and picks it up from what he did this year. More on that in a minute. Moran, just awesome relief season from him. 2.9 WAR in 107 relief innings. Jackson Jobe was okay. 4.38 ERA. That FIP was 3.81. Chase Dollander got his FIP and ERA right back to around league average. Certainly a pretty big letdown from that Cy Young season he had a season ago, but a lot of it was home run and BABIP related. Strikeout to walk ratio was exactly the same. Walks were down, strikeouts were down a tiny bit. So, maybe not as bad as it looks if he can get that home run and BABIP down. Alex Lang just continues to chug along here. He's now in the top 10 in appearances in Tigers history by a pitcher. Ryan Wentz, decent season from him, league average ERA, and the FIP a little higher. But remember, we've got him under club control for a long time at a cheap rate, and as a back-end rotation starter, we'll take that. Matt Brash came over and put up 27 innings for us and a 2.96 ERA. Montes Dioca, Moda, Victor was really solid in 73 innings. He put up a 2.45 ERA. It was below 2 for most of the season there until his final 4 appearances. He gave up some runs, and Vasquez was decent too. So that's kind of where the team stands as of now. We're going to face the Guardians in the first round of the postseason, a 3-game series at home, all at home. And so we will get into that in the next episode. But your Tigers had a really strong season in results. The process was just flat out dominant, and we'll be looking to take that into the postseason. I think, we'll go Espino, Thompson, Dolander in the 3-game series, probably in that order. And thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time in the next episode for the 2028 MLB postseason. Take care.